Hey, Shiwei. Hey, Patrick.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Toddy, and everyone.
Hey, Shiwei. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Toddy.
Yes, we can hear you. Hi, Toddy.
Yeah, I started the live streaming, and that was YouTube talking. So let's give a couple of minutes for folks to join.
Sure.
Pritesh, I believe Samir is out, right?
Yes, Samir is on vacation for a whole week.
Yeah.
He's out here.
Okay. So I see Feynman. Feynman, are you driving this meeting or is he driving it?
I hope he will drive this meeting as usual. If he will not be this meeting, I can help you host this meeting.
Okay, I just see a message from him that he will be late few minutes.
Oh,
I can drive the meeting and share the at least until he joins, so we don't lose time. Let me just find the notes. Okay, I'll share my screen and we can get started. Can everybody see my screen?
yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the first agenda item is decision and next steps on the Notary project naming and branding issue. I can give some update on that. So we've been exchanging messages with Nias and Milind about that. I don't think that we have reached any kind of agreement on the next steps there, but I have kind of promise from Nias and Milin to actually solve this issue this week. I think we scheduled some time to discuss on Thursday's meeting. I don't know whether they will be able to join, but Thursday this week is eventually the time that we'll be able to kind of hopefully wrap this up. So that's kind of the latest from the naming and branding discussion. Any questions or?
I can help to take notes for attendees. So will we defer this discussion, the naming and branding discussion of Notary project to this Thursday's meeting and wait for maybe Milind or Nias to help make decisions for it?
Yeah, so that's kind of the latest what we discussed. Anything else, or should we move to the next item, which is the notation V100 release ETA?
I think so, but I guess the first item, the release date of the Notary project naming and branding issue might impact the notation V1.0 release, as we cannot release that before we finalizing that issue.
Yes, we are all aware that this is a blocking issue. So the question will be, if we reach this agreement this week, maybe we'll need another week for kind of changing all the documentation, changing readmes and so on. So if we are quick enough. We may be able to target end of next week, but that's kind of, I would say, fairly aggressive schedule.
Mhm. Pritesh, do you have any concerns about the release date and also the naming issue?
Nothing from my side. Yeah, and I agree with Audie. Like it looks aggressive. Probably next week is the right time.
Should we eventually say 2 weeks from
Yeah.
the end of this week?
Yeah, let's target next to next week, which is what? Somewhere on 27th.
So Toddy, can we determine the ETL notation V1 release during this Thursday meeting? I think we want to see how will the branding issue proceed in the meeting. Then we can make decision for the ETA.
We certainly can, right? So, so I'm saying 3 weeks from now, which is July 27th, right? So we have Milind, Nias, Ovi, and Patrick, not Patrick, Pritesh, sorry. Milind and Nias, they want to have more conversations with you folks internally before Thursday. So I hope that you can help with those.
Sure.
Yeah.
Will do.
Naming, branding issue by end of this week. Thursday's meeting, hopefully we will have the issue unblocked. So July 27th seems realistic if we resolve the issue by end of this week. I think, Pritesh, we are in agreement with that.
I mean, 27 sounds like a reasonable date. We'll have at least 2 weeks in between. So yeah.
Okay.
And I'm hoping we won't have to make any code change. So it will be mostly around documentation or building specs.
That is the goal. Okay, Feynman, do you want to drive it from here or not Feynman? Sorry. I see you.
Yeah, thanks, Toddy. Yeah,
We went through the first 2 issues, decisions on the naming and the ETA for the 1.0 release. And I
okay,
will
so
stop sharing my screen so you can share yours and take it over.
okay, let me share it. Just a second. you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, we just finished the discussion for the first two. Okay, let me quickly check the actions for the first two. So for the naming issue, we will so by end of this week, so we will discuss and resolve this naming issue by end of this week. So based on that, hopefully we can unblock this naming issue and we move forward. And based on this time for solving naming issue, we have estimated V1 release time is basically end of July 27th. Okay. Okay, and I think the Thursday committee meeting will be a checkpoint, right?
The goal is to resolve this on Thursday's community meeting.
Okay, to resolve this. Okay. Can we be more specific on what to be resolved? Did we discuss it? And opening this issue, at the end we saw Nias provide some comments. Do we have the way a very specific action what we need to resolve?
So Nias and
You
Milin
discuss
want to have more conversations internally based on the proposal that I submitted. So that's what we are waiting for.
Okay. So that means that we by Thursday we align these naming proposals, right?
Yes.
But after that, we need to take sequential actions accordingly. For example, updating PRs if needed, and also create more PRs to update each sub repository, right? So that's the okay.
Yes.
Okay, so so by Thursday we need to settle this naming terminologies. Okay.
Yeah, ideally by Thursday, kind of end of day Pacific time, we will resolve that issue, and maybe I will write a summary of what the agreement is after the meeting, so we have that documented.
Okay. Then after that, we will create follow-up PRs to for each sub repo, and also updating existing PRs that I created for the original PRs created for the Notary project. That's a repo. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that's clear for the first two. The third, let's move to the third one. The third one is actually a proposal. So a little bit context is recently, as you know, that we have created a new repository named Notation Action, right? And for this repository, we need to add maintainers and code owners for reviews, PRs, and some governance work. So we have this PR prepared by Todi, and during review, we see that actually for each repository, we have these maintainers with the list of, especially with the org maintainers, org level maintainers. However, so if later we want to, for example, we have some updates on the org level maintainers. That means we need to update this file under each sub repository. So it's some work that we need to take, and maybe and we should also remember all the sub repository we need to update it accordingly. So one proposal is that for this maintainers, for this file, for the org level maintainers listed here, we can refer it from the .github subrepository. The .github repository, we have all the org maintainers listed in the maintainers file, so we can refer that file for the org level maintainers. So later, if we have some changes for the org level maintainers, we don't need to do any changes on each sub-repository because that repository refers to the central one, the .github maintainers. So it will save some work from the maintainers for each repository. So this is one proposal. I want to ask comments and suggestions on this one. Another is related to the code owner, this file. So code owner, this file, if you check the guidelines from the GitHub document, the main purpose for the code owners is those people who is responsible for contributing and especially reviewing PRs for the specific repository. So the proposal is that we only add or we considering the maintainers who is actively contributing to the specific repository, so that we can have the right maintainers to review PRs, creating PRs in time. So that's another proposal. So currently we have a list order, basically repository maintainers and also org level maintainers. But we know that some maintainers are not actively review PRs for this specific repository. So the proposal is that for the code owners file, we considering active maintainers who commit contributing to this specific repository. So there are two proposals I want to ask comments from maintainers in this meeting. Yeah, any comments? So I think if we agree this approach, the next step is we update this governance guide stored in the .github repository to reflect the changes we are aligned.
I don't know whether you see my hand up, but I have a comment on that.
Sorry, where did you put the comments? Oh, okay.
My hand is up in Zoom.
Oh, sorry, I cannot see it. I have only one screen. Please, Toddy.
So while I like the proposal because that will be kind of less work for me, because I've been the only one doing this work, there is certain problem with, especially with the code owners part. And as example, I will give the TUF repository, which is under Notary project organization, that we actually do not have active maintainers. And the only way to kind of merge things there is if we have code owners that are part of the organizational org management team, then the repo team. So if we have the policies that we already have enabled on the majority of the repositories, if we end up with a repository that actually every maintainer from this repository leaves, then we need to kind of force things and we'll never actually know that there are new PRs there that need to be fixed. So once again, while I agree with the less work, we need to also consider how projects are evolving and that we may end up in a repository that actually all of the repository maintainers are not active. The example is the TUF repository. Example is also the Notary repository right now, because we are having hard time actually pushing a PR there because the active maintainers for the repositories are not responding. This is my concern actually of limiting the maintainers and not including the organizational maintainers in the repository maintainers. There is no blockage on the work, because if the repository maintainers are good, we will not actually have delays on the PRs with more code owners. Also, we do not require for the repositories majority of or super majority for decisions, because those are only required for the organization, and that's where we are struggling with the super majority. So I do not see a problem having more code owners in each repository, except that amount of work that needs to be done if somebody leaves. Like, for example, is the example with Vani right now, and we don't have a process actually for putting Vani in emeritus status and updating her. So once again, from my point of view, I don't mind going and updating 10 files instead of 3. There are certain benefits of having more code owners than less, and including the organizational maintainers in the code owners. Else, we need to bypass policies that actually are defined for the repositories, which is not a kind of nice thing to do from compliance point of view. It's not that we cannot do it, but it's not visible to the community outside. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks, Toddy. I saw you one point about this TUF repository and the Notary repository example, that repository maintainers is not active, right? So that's if we don't have org maintainers there, so the new PRs will not be notified in time, right? So that could be one issue. Yeah, and also you mentioned that more code owners will help to reviewing the PRs, and not all the PRs request supermajority, and that is also true.
So for the PRs, we require 2 reviews. Doesn't matter whether those 2 reviews are repository maintainers or organizational maintainers. So there is, like, if you have more people, like statistically you have, or theoretically you will have the PRs moving faster, not slower. If you have more people who get notified for this review. That's kind of hopefully logically how it works. If we actually have more people who are maintainers on a particular repository and we lose like certain amount of them, we'll still have enough people to at least make a progress and not be stuck as we are currently stuck with the Notary and the TUF repository.
Yeah, thanks, Toddy. Any comments from other people? Any other thoughts? Pritesh, Shui, do you have any thoughts on this?
So I'm still confused with having all the level maintenance in the code owners, because from the notation goal and notation code goal, I do see that not everyone in the org level maintainers are during the code review. And yes, adding them to the code owners can send notification emails to them. But if they receive lots of emails, especially if we are in a very active development, they may ignore those emails. So how do we deal with that? If a repo is, not active, then it's very, this operation is very active. It's very useful. But if the repository itself is already active, then why should we include all the people at the org levels?
I did explain the reasons, and I wish there was easier way to manage that, Shiwei. As I said, so if the community decides to remove that, I'm fine doing it. But I think that ideally, the way I would like to manage that, and this is limitation of GitHub, is for proper access and group management, you need to have a way to nest groups, and you need to have a way to actually. Ideally, I would like code owners to be automatically populated by the group that has access to this repository. Unfortunately, that's a manual step, right? The notifications, I do not understand what is the concern here. Is it the concern to save some email to certain people, or ideally?
No. By the way, I just have an idea that we can list individuals at the repository level, maintainers in the code owner file. But for org level maintainers, can we just put a team name in the code owners file?
That does not work as far as I remember.
I think it will still send notification letters to that group. But the thing here is it's a group, and publicly no one can see who's in that group. It's not transparent. It's not clear. There's no clarity. But in this case, we just need clarity for the repo level. Is that fine, or it does not work?
I think that's not a bad idea, actually, because we still have the kind of the org maintainers listed in the GitHub repository, so we can add in the code owners that the code owners is the org group plus these individual maintainers. That I think that's not a bad idea. That's what you have in mind, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we certainly can do that.
Thanks, Toddy.
Should we go that way? Just let me know what we are deciding, and I can go and update the PR. I like what you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with. Yeah, I agree with Shui's proposal to use a group ID or the governance or the org level owners ID in code owners. So if we don't put the org level owners name in each code owners files, I think as an org level owner, they will still have the access, have permission to update or to review and merge PRs in each repo.
Yeah,
I think
what I'm saying is not from kind of the org level maintainers will always have permissions. The question is whether that will be transparent or not. So I am not sure how the code owners functionality in GitHub is working, in the sense of, let's say, if two people from the code owners team in GitHub approve a PR, will that be considered actually enough for the policy that we have on the repository? So that's my concern. Where is it going? Because we want to show that actually not somebody overrode that policy, but really two people did the approvals. That's the goal. And from transparency point of view.
Yeah, I see this is a good point, that if we have a group in the code owners, so once one person from the group approve it, it doesn't, I mean, for some cases, right, it is not clear that or majority of that group approve this. So that could be a problem.
I think it's worth trying what Shiwei is proposing, though, because that is just my limited knowledge of how the policies work in GitHub. But if we can try it for this repository, and we can update everything else after that.
Yeah, so Shiwei's proposal is that for the code owners file here, we add this GitHub group ID here, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe we can try it to see how it works for this new repository.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So let's try Shiwei's proposal, and if it works, we can go and update the rest of the repositories.
Yeah. How about other people? If no objection, that we can try it with this new repository to see whether it works. Okay, I see. I saw Pratesh something up. Okay, great. So let me write it down. So this is for the second proposal, right? Second one. So try to add group code owners. Yeah, on function. Sorry. Okay. So this is for the second one. How about the first proposal? Link org maintainers from .github repository. So that means we also need to modify this maintainers file, and
I think we can update just the comment on the top and say for org level maintainers also have access here. The org level maintainers are listed in the .github repository, and just list the repo level maintainers below. So that one is easier.
Okay. Yeah, so we can update the comments, right? We remove this list and we update the comments to see to indicate that the org level maintainers are listed in the .github maintainers file.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try that. So if it works, then we can update other repository accordingly, and I can do that. Sorry, it seems this screen sometimes this page jumps to a different place.
So for the maintainers file, it's only for visibility. So I don't think that there is any problem to do that. the code owners is the one that has some attached functionality in GitHub, and
Yeah.
maintainers
yeah.
can update as we want.
The maintenance file, the purpose is we want to save some effort that we don't need to update each repository because we already have several repository. So let's try that. Okay. So I will complete this action later. So let's move on because we only have 24 minutes. I will complete this action that update the maintenance file with the comments indicate the organ level maintainers. And I also want to mention that our current governance guide under this .github repository list the way and also the criteria that how we can step down maintainer. So we can discuss that later in later meetings. So let's move on to the next agenda item. It's about Notary project and enlightening broadcast from Toddy, this one.
Yeah, that's the message that actually we saw from in the Slack channel. So you can click on the Slack message. This is a lady from VMware, Tansu, and she has a podcast series. She's interested to do a podcast on Notary project. Kind of the overall question is she's asking whether we can do it on the 20th of July, and who can do it from the Notary project side. So the overall question is like, it will be good to have 2 people there. Who those 2 people from the community will be. And whether we can commit to that or we can ask her to, so eventually if we want to do that post-release, we can ask her to do something in August instead on July 20th. That's also an option.
I think post-release sounds better once we have the 1.0 release. It's just that you can, in the podcast, you can say that 1.0 is out.
Yeah.
But either way works.
And Pritesh, is it, so is there somebody kind of on your side who would like to do that?
Let me check with Niaz and Samir. I'm not sure what's the procedure here, so I will check with Niaz and Samir and probably ping you tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I will get back to you on Wednesday.
Should I ping her and ask her to do that in August? So we are post-release and let's say second half of August to make sure that we have enough time to release the functionality and the specs before that.
Yeah, if that's possible, that would be great because we would have done renaming also.
Okay, then let's do that. So I will ping her and ask her whether we can do that in the second half of August.
Second half.
We should actually use her name. It's Whitney, not the lady. Sorry. That is
Sorry, it's my, let me find the name.
I will write it down. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Toddy. And Pritesh, you will check whether you can Niaz.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the guideline which Amazon has for attending any podcast. I'll have to check with the or something like that. If somebody can do it, or it's me, depending upon the guidelines.
Okay.
Which kind of brings me to the next topic, if we are done with this one. So the deadline for submitting a maintainer track for Notary project for KubeCon America is July 16th, which is this coming Sunday. I can submit the kind of the talk. It will be good if I submit it with a additional presenter. Again, Pritesh, this is a question I think I asked Samir a couple of weeks ago. He didn't get back to me, but will somebody from AWS willing to present at KubeCon North America the project?
Yeah, again, I will have to check. I wasn't even aware of this. So yeah, I can get back to you on Wednesday for this again. Yeah. Let me take action item on this so that I don't forget.
Yeah, please get back to me. I will make sure that I will submit it. But if somebody on your side wants to co-present, I will need some information from them to submit it as part of the talk. We can change that later, of course, but it will be good to have it from the beginning.
Yep, we'll get back to you by Wednesday on that. Like I'll have to go to, like since Samir is out, I have to go to Nias for that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Pritesh, you will get back to
Actually, what is it about? Can you just provide me one-liner summary for this?
I can link the update that Justin Cormack and I did on the KubeCon EU. It's
So
just
similar to KubeCon, or it's something different? It talks about maintainer track and count request.
it's similar to KubeCon. It's kind of the same update on the project.
Oh, okay. It's simply update on project. Okay, sounds good.
okay, so Pritesh, you will get back to Toddy by Wednesday this week, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Joint activity. Okay. Anything else we want to discuss for this one? If no, we move to the next topic, security audit report. I believe this one is from Feynman, right? I saw you have some conversations with Adam from security audit team.
Yeah, actually, this is just an information sharing, as we had discussed with Adam from AdaLogics. We agreed that we will publish the notation security audit report on both CNCF and also the Notary project website at 8 a.m. GMT, July 11th. So this is the time that we are going to publish the security audit report. If we don't have any concerns from our Notary project maintainers, we agree that this is a date, this is the time that we were going to publish it. And we have two PRs related to the audit report. We will merge those two PRs to publish it by default.
Thanks, Feynman. Could you list the PR here so that we can, I will open it so that we can align here with all the maintainers to make sure those are the two PRs that we want to merge by that time. Could you share the PRs, and I will also open it.
Yeah, let me paste it in our Slack, in the Zoom chat. And also, let me paste it in the meeting notes.
We have a 2, right? 302, 302. Yeah, 302 is under this notaryproject.dev, this website, repository. We have we have many approvals. This one is add a link. Let me open the preview. I think this is the security, right? So add the link here, and this link will point it to the Notary project repository, the security audit file that we merged previously. So this is one PR to be merged. Another one is the blog post that Feeman created. Let me open the deploy. And for this one, we also have, we have enough approvals. Let me check whether we need to have some, okay, no conflicts. Okay, this one should under blog. Okay, this entry, okay. Yeah, so these two PRs we want to merge by the time that 8 a.m. GMT July 11th. Okay, so who will do the merge? Is it you, Feeman?
I think I will merge those two PRs. I can do that.
Okay, great. So yeah, so any comments from other maintainers? So we have these two PRs I just showed, and we will merge it by the time that agreed with the security audit team, and the Feeman will merge it. Yeah, any comments? If no, then we just do it. Feeman will do that. Let me take a note. Feeman will merge two PRs. One is the 02 and 3. Okay. Sorry.
If you have few minutes, I want to talk about the timestampings. Like if you have few minutes left here in the meeting, I have one topic to discuss.
Yeah, we have
But
10 minutes.
more like an informational thing. Okay, cool. It does. So Ivan pinged me offline, and he's willing to contribute for adding timestamp support in notation. If you scroll all the way down, I think it looks like he commented a few minutes back around this. There might be few PRs he might raise for adding timestamp support. Probably we can do as a part of 1.1 or something like that. Actually, this is not Ivan. Someone else commented. Ah, interesting.
Yeah, I'm also want to confirm with you who want to contribute.
Yeah, that's confusing. Sorry, give me a minute. I'll just try to open it. Probably they are from the same organization. Let me just confirm that. Oh, it's Ivan, right? Okay. The alias is something else. The name is Ivan. So yeah, Ivan comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he just commented on it. And probably we can target this post 1.0 item to add a TSS support. But yeah, we should probably target 1.1 starting. Like we can right now cut a branch and say it's 1.0 branch, and probably we can continue the progress in parallel for 1.1. Any comments on this suggestion? Because right now we are not merging any code change. Apart from like dependency upgrade. So probably it's a good time to cut a branch and support it. How do you want to tackle this?
So this work will do we have any I mean from E1 any proposals from E1 on how to do it?
I think he would do
I
it.
mean more details to share to the maintainers to understand it.
I think he will comment more on the issue. He just wanted to bring this up. Like he is ping like 2 hours back on the Slack that he is interested in doing this, adding a support. So I think I just asked him to comment on the issue so that other maintainers have visibility that he's interested to implement this. So just an FYI, probably he will add more comments or comments on the issue how he is planning to do it. But he did added a library which he is using, so feel free to add comments on the library. It's like we should like feel free to add comment whether we want to use this library or not.
You mean this library?
Yes, that's correct. That's the one. So he's suggesting that we can take dependency on this library to implement RFC 316 and usually timestamping support. So I would I have a request to maintainers that if they find that we can reuse this library, just comment on the ticket that we are okay with adding these dependencies. But that's a major thing, right? If we agree on the dependency, then he can propose the future task or action items or future design from there. So Shive, Patrick, Jinji, please take a look at the library and just give a thumbs up. It's like comment offline that we are good to add this library as one of our critical dependency. I will also try to look into it in the parallel since I haven't looked into that library.
Sure has his hands raised up.
Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to finish your speak and I can comment. So I actually did look once for this library because it's used by Cosine. So I do see. I think we cannot use that library. Why? Because the timestamping is based on the PKCS7, and the PKCS7 is based on CMS. So basically, we need all those crypto fundamental libraries. The truth is that we don't have those mature libraries in Golang. So if you click the Golang timestamp library link, can you just click that? Yeah. And go to the go.mod file. As you can see, this timestamp library depends on its PKCS library. And if you click that, you will see that it is okay. Can you just select yet, and then right click and go to. Yes, and you can see this is forked from the Mozilla PKCS7. Yeah.
It's a fold one.
Yes.
Can you please add the comment on the same text so we don't lose this conversation?
So if you click that, so
This one?
yes, PKC7, yes. So basically, this library based on all back to the Mozilla and this person. So basically, I'm not sure, and I don't think those libraries are mature or they are well maintained.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see, can you please add your findings to that issue so that we can keep track of them? And probably discuss a path forward on the issue. Yeah, I do see your concern here. They are not even released library. They're not even 1.0.
So basically, if we want to develop a very, very robust and secure solution, our original plan is that we have to develop our own CMS library, and on top of that, we can implement the timestamp protocol, so that we can implement TSA support for notation.
That's true. Let's document all this in that same issue so that we don't forget it again, and probably and add your proposal of like implementing the library on your own, and we can take a decision from that. But I do see the concern you have here, which is major one.
So what do we do next?
I think she will add the comment on that issue, and then we can take it from there. Right now, that's the only extra item we have.
Okay, so Shui will add comments on this issue to for the further discussion, right?
Yes, yes.
We will comment on this issue. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have all the item covered, and I will finish this action item for this meeting update maintenance. Yeah, we just on time. So thanks everyone for joining. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.